the QB competition in Tampa Bay. So apparently Baker Mayfield is not running away with the job, which is kind of concerning because, I feel like they brought him in because they weren't really super confident with Kyle Trask. Because why would you bring in, a vet that, in my opinion, like Baker Mayfield is not just that vet that is like going to automatically be the backup. Like he's that vet that will like still kind of compete for like starting. Like not saying he is like a Ryan Fitzpatrick, but kind of that vibe where he could beat you out. And I guess if they wanted to give Kyle Trask competition, like I get it. But at the same time, it seems like they brought him in to maybe win the starting job. And it's like Kyle Trask is kind of winning. So it's like that. It's almost like, I don't know which quarterback do you want to play? Like, and the thing is, looking at the Buccaneers cap situation, they only have $27 million in cap in 2024. So it's like they're kind of stuck in this bucket for like the next 2 years. And like they have like an aging team, and I just don't really know where the Bucs go. Apparently Baker has thrown 8 interceptions already and Trask has thrown 1.
Okay, bro, there's so much to dissect with this. But I think first things first, I have to address. I never thought of him like Fitzmagic before, but now that you said that, I'm like never gonna be able to. I think he's the new. Maybe is he the new age Fitzmagic going on over here?
I mean, I don't know about all that, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's that type of vet you bring into the room. Like, he can genuinely win the starting job if you have an unsure quarterback room.
No, for sure. And I think teams usually teams kind of like rally around Baker, or I guess it's kind of 50-50. Depends which roster he's on. But we know that the rosters can have the tendency to rally around Baker.
Right.
But so my thing is, number one, don't they just feel very much so like if you were playing an old Madden franchise, like when you're in like, a long time ago or something, and you see a team and you're like, whoa, like what the hell is that direction? They got three quarterbacks in the roster, like 80 over. That's how they feel, where it's like, yeah, like you were saying, very much, well, what's the direction? But again, when we consider that they're coming off of a Super Bowl victory over the last, in like the last half decade, it's like, okay, it makes a little bit more sense where they're kind of trying to regain their footing post Brady. But I do agree, because they've been so wishy-washy on this too, which is my thing that's kind of concerning. Is I remember at first, before Baker got here, it was very much so, we're very confident in Trask. We like the way Trask is developing. Right. We don't mind when Trask is time, it's his time to be the starter. Well, now the narrative obviously is very much not the same, where they brought in competition. And like you said, I'm sure that they were very much hoping the competition was going to be the one who'd step up and give them some stability in the quarterback room.
Yeah.
I'm sure that they don't really feel much stability in the quarterback room. We surely don't feel that stability. And again, the Bucs are definitely potentially in for a very interesting next year or so. I mean, at least.
Yeah, no, I agree. I can't find the 2023, but in 2022, the Bucs were literally the oldest team by average in the NFL. And if you look at their roster, you have like the guys like Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, but I kind of like think about the team, and that team really doesn't go unless they have another like superstar top 10 quarterback. Like in reality, what team is taking what quarterback is taking Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Rashad White, who we really don't know what he's going to be. They have a good O-line, but like Mike Evans is 29. Like I still think he's got a couple years in him, but like you have to have a quarterback that can at least get him the ball. I don't necessarily know if Baker Mayfield's that guy. I don't know if he ever really was. I mean, he had the rookie year and I think he got caught up in some bad situations, but the defense is getting older too. And it's just, I don't really see like a path for this team. And I was trying to look up their past records, but like, I don't know if the Buccaneers have really been a team that they're not willing to, in my opinion, like throw it all away. Like they're not going to fully scrap down their team.
See, and that's what I think is so interesting, because again, they would be very much, in my opinion, again, Bucs fans, let me know how you'd feel about this, because I think you guys would agree with me here for a sec. Whereas you already have gone all the way and won it. You guys went all in on Brady. That was awesome for you guys. And then, so it's like, all right, so that was exactly what you guys were hoping to happen, right? You went all in, chips all in, money in, and it worked. So it's like now when it's time to reload, to have actually a real another shot at it, instead of doing it again where you guys are going to really reload and give yourself a real shot, it's like now the GM and the coaching staff are just cool, kind of like kicking their feet up and being like, oh, like job's done. Like, it's already been done once. It's like, whoa. Like, I was just doing it once already good enough for you guys? Because again, that's what I was gonna say to your point, bro. When we look at this roster, I mean, are you gonna sit here and tell me that there's not a lot of value sitting here for the future if you scrap it now? Because again, let's be honest. This is the thing. They're holding on to the past, and I don't blame them. You got rings with these guys. You brought a lot of value to the city with these guys. But the thing is the very good franchises know when to walk away. And Mike Evans, right now, you are not going to get any. It's not going to go up. It's not going to go up. It's already gone down a lot because he's getting older, like you're saying. And there's a lot of guys like Jamel Dean. Is he going to be in the Super Bowl window in the future again? Probably got good value on him now. Again, it would be a good time now. Levante David's kind of a franchise guy. I don't really think, but again, potentially you get value there. Sure. And we know Shaq Barrett, like Tyrone Shanka, like they have guys that have value. I guess Tyrone Shanka, you could find a way to squeeze him into the future. But you get my point. Guys that are aging now. Whereas let's get him out the door when we could get some draft picks to really reload again. And that's my main thing is they're kind of just kicking their feet up. It feels like from my perspective, it's like, well, the job's done for now.
Yeah,
we don't feel like, it's like, I don't really feel like going for it again. Like,
I agree. I mean, I think you probably couldn't get a ton of draft capital for Levante David because he is older. But like, I guess my thing is like, you couldn't really get much for Shaquille Barrett. Vita Vea, I still think you could get decent draft compensation. They got Kalijah Cansey, who can be their interior guy. And Devin White, he's only 26. I know like the value on like linebackers isn't huge. And they did take him in the first round at 5th overall. But it's just like, I look at the Bucks and it's kind of like, this strikes me as a team like you were saying, when they're competitive again or competing for a Super Bowl, like it's going to take a couple years in my opinion. And most of these guys aren't going to be like around at that point. And I feel like if they try to sell this year, they would be doing themselves a favor because next year just feels like a year too late where a lot of these players will lose their value, especially on a team that, I don't think they're going to be horrible, but I don't think they're going to perform to the level that they do. I mean, like, where's the leadership coming from?
No, bro, 100%. And also, I think this is the biggest thing. When do you see teams that are perennially competitive that hold on to the stars their whole career, every star? It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
This is the point. Every good franchise, you know when and how to reload at the perfect time, when to load the bullet in, when to pull the trigger, because if you don't at that very moment, the target's gone. And the target in this case happens to be actually having success for like half a decade plus in at a period of time versus just, we had one good year. We had one good run, one Super Bowl, whatever it went. Championship, conference championship run. A lot of teams do that and then they don't reload the necessary slots. And then you wonder why that everyone's scratching their head. How is this happening? Because football is a sport where you got to constantly reload new talent where it's depleting because certain positions are always going to deplete. Nobody's going to enter this offseason the year before feeling the same as they did. It's everybody. It's different. People's health, it's so sporadic. And that's the thing is it's just, I think, more teams got to start looking at it that way and reloading at the right time more than anything.
I agree. I think it's time to move on. I think it's time to rebuild for the Bucks. They've kind of held. I mean, they've had this team together for so long. Like, if you really think about it, like a good chunk of this team has been here since Jameis Winston, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I think it's time to go. Are you starting Baker or Trask?
Well, from what I know now, my honest answer to you is, especially from the way I'm thinking about it, I'm starting Trask literally 10 out of 10 times. Because number one, if I start Trask, you have the chance for untapped potential. Oh, this guy steps in and he really just has the it where he plays well in the spotlight. All right, cool. Let's fucking go. Or you then also second best case scenario is that we suck terribly, but at least I've tried expanding the potential of both my young guys. They both suck, and now I know that, and we can go draft a new guy and get the shitty draft pick or the good draft pick off the shitty record.
Yeah, I would start Baker just because I think you saw what he did in the Rams game. You never know, man. Like, he might have that resurgence. I'm not really big on Trask. I feel like if you sit behind Brady for 2 years and like they bring in a veteran that they know can beat you, it's kind of like they didn't really trust him or believe in him in the first place. So